the crowd. Guys, come on in so that way everybody's kind of in the middle and we're all one big happy family to the extent possible, except for Joshua. It just doesn't work out. There you go, but you don't need a microphone. Okay, so the story here again is this is for entrepreneurs, by entrepreneurs, launched by the Kauffman Foundation just over 2 years ago. We're now in more than 40 cities, slated to be more than 70 cities by the end of the year. My name is Ron. I'm one of the organizers. Sitting over there is Shay. Raise your hands. Natalie, where are you? She's out there. Natalie's outside. Can you hear me, Natalie? Wave your hand. There you go. She's putting coffee together. There you go. Natalie, one of the other organizers. Absent today is David on vacation, and streaming live from Kansas City is Nancy. The format is very simple: 6 minutes presentation, 20 minutes Q&A. We do have one presenter AWOL right now, so hopefully they'll make it. If not, we'll have one presenter, and then we'll have some lively conversations about some of the things going on in Central Florida in the entrepreneurship and startup community. Just quickly, on the desk, how many of you parked in the parking lot outside at SunTrust? Don't forget, stamp your parking pass for free parking. The stamp is on the table. We also have some really cool business cards, so grab a few of those. They have our website address. It tells a little bit about the Orlando chapter, so grab those, share those along with the stickers. Just by a few of you are new, just raise your hand if this is the first time here for you. Just don't be shy, raise it. There you go. Well, thank you very much for coming here. I really appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch computers real quickly and have Enviro Petroleum coming up and tell us a little bit about their story. Again, fairly simple. The 20 minutes Q&A, by the way, this is not Shark Tank. So it's here to be uplifting, and constructive, not destructive. So think more Guppy Tank than Shark Tank and the questions that you ask. And without any further ado, are you ready?
Good morning. Okay, that's good. Good morning. My name is Wichy, Castro. I work for Enviro Petroleum. Thank you for being here. Thank you for inviting us to this wonderful experience. Usually we are at a more commercial kind of thing, so this is kind of interesting, going back to the academic side of things. I'm eager to hear your questions. Before I tell you what it is that we do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it is that, where do I come from? My family has been in this business forever. We have a property going back to the 1920s that we still own. The photo is as good as it is. Although it says circa 1930, this is actually from 1952. That's my great-grandma pumping oil on a car when they reinaugurated the station. We still have that property. It was the first station in our hometown, and we still have it. It's still one pump. It's still a very lousy business to keep, but for sentimental values, it's worth it. So I'm the third generation of a family whose only dealings have been oil. Fortunately, a couple of years ago, I was working for a customer as a consultant in the oil industry. They were having emissions issues, and they were trying to find a solution to the emissions problem without investing too much money into equipment. When you have emissions issues, your best possible solution is to get more sophisticated and newer equipment costing millions of dollars. So they were at a capital constraint, and they said, "Wichy, can you get us something? Can you help us?" And I was finding, different things that we can do, and then I came up with this technology. This technology changed my life, literally, because I've been a bad oil guy for all my life, but now I'm a good oil guy, because we are able to reduce emissions while reducing fuel spending. Think about that. you can save 40 cents a gallon while reducing your emissions more than a pound of CO2 per gallon. So it's a good thing to have. Fortunately for you, you don't have to believe me because I'm a lousy presenter to start with, but I have $30 million worth of testing backing up everything that I'm going to say to you today. The most reputable laboratories from 5 continents confirm those 2 things that I just mentioned. This technology is safe, it will reduce your fuel consumption, and will reduce emissions. So if you look at the numbers, some of them might be recognizable, some of them might not. But I'm telling you, that's the who's who of emission testing around the world and the most reputable engine manufacturers around the world. So all of those reports are available for review if anybody might want to waste their time doing that. So let's play this game. I don't know how you call it in English, but in Spanish it's just, I show a picture and you come up with a word. And that will tell you what it is that we're trying to do here. This one is easy. Come on, guys. What it is? 5, of course. Hello? Exactly. And thank you all. Give yourself a hand. Good. That is what we do. We fight global warming, but we fight it from a perspective that is not costly. Actually, it pays for itself. This is all that you need to treat your fuels for a year. Okay? And save $200 by using it. And save the environment around 500 pounds of CO2. Yes. Now, it is impossible for you to use it in your car because we're talking about 9 drops for every 5 gallons. So for you to use it, you will have to change your habits, which is a bad thing. So we came up with a way of going a little bit above the retail, the end user, and go to the company storing the fuel for us. What we do is we put this in the fuel in an automatic way, so when you receive it at your car, you have to do nothing, just squeeze the trigger, as you have been doing forever. Now, if this product is so concentrated, that means that I can move this worldwide whenever I want, wherever I want. Just to give you an example, we got a customer in Dubai. It took us 11 days from my beautiful desk in Orlando to implement this solution in Dubai at 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the desert. So this is scalable, people. We can do this worldwide. And if I can do this worldwide, and if I can save money by helping the environment, what it is that I need to do next? I need to spread the voice. Now, from the commercial standpoint of view, we're fighting with other companies claiming the same thing. Although I honestly tell you, I know everybody else out there, and I think that we are the most practical solution to it. So this is the ask. You can do nothing. You can go to my webpage and like my Facebook thing and whatever it is, but you can do something more important than that, which is helping us to spread the message. And that's my next goal. I think that this is TED Talk material. I think that this can literally end global warming. Now hold your shares. Last time I said that 7 people fall from the chair, and I don't want to have any losses. But think about it. Why would you not save money, 40 cents a gallon, and help the environment? Can anybody give me a reason why not to do that? Which company is going to say no to saving millions of dollars? Let me tell you, one of our customers, the largest one is Siemens, the concrete manufacturer. Do you know Siemens? Very powerful company, Fortune 500. They save $30 million a year using this in 28 different countries. Now, they don't want us to advertise on that too much, and they don't let us say it, so I won't say it. They don't let us use their logos or anything, but that's a fact, and we can prove it. So if you think that this is something worth sharing, I want to ask you to please go and recommend us for a talk. Say that the lousy Puerto Ricans have something to say. The technology, what it does to fuel is what charcoal iron does to coal. What's the problem with barbecue? We're coming to the 4th of July, and I know that you guys are already thinking about how lousy you're going to look trying to ignite your coal. What's the problem with coal? What it is? Anybody know? No barbecuers here?
It's a really long time to get on.
And that's a problem with carbon because of its structure. So you need to add something to make it burn faster. Once it's going, it's going to go for hours, right? But it's the same thing with fuels. So this technology, and I'm not going to go to the details, but this technology is going to help the combustion inside your engine to occur faster, to start easier. So more of the energy that we have, we're going to use it to take the energy out of the fuel rather than to ignite the fuel. And then I know that on the questions section you will have some more questions about it. So that's the question, can we stop it? I say yes. Most of the scientific community think that we only need to reduce 2% of the CO2 emissions every year, and I'm offering here 5. So I think that we're on the right track to say that this is a real, scalable, and safe solution to fight global warming, which is the goal here. So those were my 6 minutes that turned into 8. I'm sorry about that. If you have any questions, now is the time to make them.
Coming up, just do me a favor, if you have a question, just raise your hand. Natalie over there has a microphone, and then I will bring your mic as well. There's a question over here on this side of the room.
So this is a great product. I think it has a lot of great implications. Have you tried or thought about commercializing it for the individual user? Because I look at that and say, someone like me, unless I have a big company that's going to implement that where I'm getting gas, Shell, Exxon, they're not going to do that because it's eating into their profits and their revenue stream. Have you looked at trying to do it on the individual level?
We tried. The technology has 2 bad things, and the first one is that if you put more of it than you should, it won't work. And let me tell you what I did. It is funny how I got this job. This company, some people say in the industry that I can connect upstream with downstream. You know what that is, right? I'm a mechanical engineer with this background, and I know how to get oil from the ground and how to put it in your tank. So the investors here hired me by accident. I think they made a mistake to start with, but they hired me to do a market analysis, a comprehensive market study of how to take this product to the market. And I did. 6 months later, they said, "We want you as CEO." And I was like, "No, you don't want that. I'm politically incorrect. I'm the wrong guy for the job." I said, "No, we want you. We want you." I tried to talk them out of it. So we have thought about it hardly, but I think that if we come to change people's habits, this is going to fail. That's one of the big mantras that I have. Do not change people's habits. Now let me tell you what we are indeed doing. We're approaching the unbranded market. Gas station that has no brands or tags with one of big oils, and we brand them. We put our brand, which is just the E and the plus sign, and we treat all of their fuels. So when you come to the station and you squeeze the trigger, it's already in there. All the stations that we have implemented this in has increased their volume 8% in 6 months. So yes, you're going to start selling less to your own customers, but guess what? You're going to start selling to somebody else's customers. I don't know if you're aware of this, but oil, buying fuel is the second most important item in your budget. 8% of our money goes into buying fuel. So if I affect that, the consumer is going to notice something is happening. I don't know what it is, but now I come to fuel every Monday with my tank being empty, and now I have a quarter of a tank. What's going on? So that's basically the way that we think that we will get to your level and to my level. I try, I force myself to use it. But literally when I'm in a rush, I just forget. You know what we do? We have a syringe. And we just pour 3 cc's to 60 gallons, and it's just messy. And I try to do it because, come on, let's go. But honestly, I know that it will not hold for long. We'd rather come from the other direction, which is convincing the market that this is needed. And that's what we focus so much on the environmental side of things. Number 1, because I truly believe in it, but number 2, because I know that hook is going to keep customers coming back. We even reward customers for saving CO2, that's part of the platform. So it is the way to go. We just need to find a way of getting there without having you to open a bottle and do crazy stuff.
Another question right there in the middle.
Yes.
What's the pricing structure? Are you just selling the liquid, or are you providing this as a service? What's the pricing?
Well, it's an interesting question. Let me tell you how we do this. We do this per treated gallon. But before telling you how much it costs, I'm going to emphasize on how much it saves. It saves a company using diesel 40 cents a gallon, net. Okay? We sell this at 5 cents per treated gallon. Now, again, hold to your chair. I don't want anybody falling to the ground. Haven't we heard that fuel is all about price? Have you heard that? Price, price, price. Any penny chasers here? Anyone? Come on, guys. Be serious about it. Because that's what we've been told. When my peers in the industry hear about 5 cents per treated gallon, they cannot believe it. Because we've been told a lot. It is not about the price. It is about the perception of value. Do you pay higher for something that you can get cheaper just because it's higher quality? Not everybody here is driving an Indian car costing $4,000, right? So it is pricey. When people in the industry hear 5 cents, they want to fold their other chairs, but it's about how much it saves us. At a retail level, we put it on high volumes, let's say half of that. So let me try to deliver this picture to you. You're driving down the road, and you have XYZ station, which cleans your engine, if you care, and you have Enviro, and Enviro costs 2 pennies more. But you know for certain that you're helping the environment. Does anybody here dare to tell me that they will not help the environment for 2 pennies? I know that some of you would, but you're not brave enough to tell me in front of this crowd.
I am.
Yeah, well, here we have a brave guy. So it will be in some places even politically incorrect to say that you don't care about the environment. But let me tell you what you save when you save 2 pennies. You save $10 a year. Remember, you spend $5. So when you save 2 pennies, you're saving $10. And I don't think that $10 buy too much these days. So that's what chasing a penny is. Whenever you see this run out, you should, for your own good, because remember, you're breathing the same air that I am. For your own good, you should support this product. You're going to make me richer, of course, but you're going to make the air you breathe cleaner, which I think it matters. Any question?
Hold on, there's a question right there in the front.
For someone like me, I get my gas at Costco. Could you work with a company like that, or?
Everybody in the industry knows us already. We have spoken with everybody. Some of them discarded us immediately because it's just too new. It's too much innovation for them. Some of them are considering, and some of them are at the stage of negotiating. So you will see the branding of that. You will see it. And I want you to remember, and the reason why we do this effort, which I love, by the way, is because the only way that we will nail the message is if we go one-to-one. If I just put it out on the TV, you're not going to pay attention. And I can blast your emails, and I can do that. But I'd rather use my time doing this. Number one, it's better for me. I'm not at the office. Number two, I get to meet great people and learn from them. And number three, you will remember this. Some of it. At least my upper face, I hope. You have a question back there?
There's some right there.
Can you please?
Yeah, I'm just curious about the Siemens example that you gave, that you know, it's a great case study. Why won't they let you market it? Why won't they let you use their information?
Yeah, well, the excuse that they give is that they don't want their competitors to know what they're doing to be more efficient on delivering the concrete, which makes sense from a capitalistic point of view. Makes sense, and that's the case with most companies. We really need to twist arms and give product free and do crazy stuff, or let them use their logos and their stores. But since they cannot tap my mouth, right? They're not here. Let's make fun of them. Yes.
Okay, let's say it's 6 months down the road, and I'm driving down the street, and I see my e-gas station, and I pull up, but I have, I don't know, a third of a tank of gas. Can I add to it?
Yes, you can. You will not have a full benefit because you're diluting basically to half of it, but you will notice a difference. And I'm always using this example, and please females, I'm not trying to push you down or anything. I'm just going to give you a real story. This is so powerful that even you will notice. My wife, I put it in my wife's car secretly, and And 2 weeks after, she was telling me this, I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm a car guy, and she said, oh, my car is running smoother. And I'm looking at her, what are you talking about? Yes, something's different. No, anything is different, keep driving. Yes, I'm telling you something is different. And then I realized the increased efficiencies of the combustion. This is what she was feeling at the steering wheel. She feels that when she, presses the gas pedal, the vehicle responds in a better way. This will give you 10% more power to your engine. At the end, that's how you save on fuel, because you need less fuel to go from point A to point B. So it's so powerful that even the person who's not related to cars whatsoever will notice it. So if you go to with a half tank and you put it, by the time it's running out, you're gonna notice it. You're gonna see some improvement.
There's some other question over there, but not that we're competitive or anything, but they're beating us on questions. I'm just saying.
No, but we're good.
My team's winning.
To almost tap on to your question, so even if we're not 6 months down the road, where can we find gas stations if we want to support you on our way home today by visiting the gas stations? Where would we find gas stations that are using you right now?
Right now, no, we're next week. We don't have it. We're opening the first one by the Orlando Airport. The absolute closest gas station by the Orlando Airport. It's the one famous, marine famous, for selling fuel at $6 a gallon. Well, they don't care about the famous, right? So actually, we're gonna right the wrong with them. It'll be there probably in 90 days, and we're gonna try to make as much noise as we can. So please follow us on Facebook.
There's a question right here. Okay. Have you started negotiations with NASCAR or Formula One or even any of the worldwide rally racing? That's, I think, going to have a great impact for you.
Great question. I really love that question. Let me tell you what my first executive decision was. I have a video, you can find it on YouTube. I said to the board, listen guys, unless we can showcase this, we're dead in the water. What do you want? I want to spend $500,000. What? I went to North Carolina, to Rockingham, the truck, one of the first ones that NASCAR used.
Oh, yeah.
I rented 5 teams, full-blown thing, trailers, mechanics, everything, and we did a private race. 4 vehicles had Enviro, 1 didn't. The 4 vehicles improved about 1 second per lap. And they run 1 mile longer with the same fuel. It's all on the YouTube. NASCAR saw it, they love it, but then they said that they were too heavily invested into the ethanol thing by then. It was 2011. So they decided to put us on the side until they really nailed down the ethanol thing. We're starting conversations again this year. So we don't know where that's going to go.
Okay, I've got to follow up with that.
Please,
Hold on. Sorry.
please look at the Enviro Plus, go on YouTube, Enviro Plus, and you're going to find it.
Does this mean that you're non-compatible with ethanol?
Not at all. Actually, this is the way of restoring the power that you lose when using ethanol. Anybody aware of the ethanol thing? Heard the stories? You're going to lose 10% of your power when you add ethanol. Because ethanol has what? Less calorific value, right? No way around it. I will give you 10% back. So I don't think that food was meant to be burning an engine, but if you're going to go with it, then put it right and then restore the power. Because you people may have not realized it, but every single thing being done to reduce emission is going to make you spend more fuel. From catalytic converters to ethanol. So we're not solving the problem, we're making it bigger. But I don't want to get into politics. Let me leave it there. Questions? Any more?
Yes, I had a question. I understand what you're saying about increased fuel efficiency because, it's a carbon-based fuel, so you're breaking it down through combustion into CO2 and water. But my question is, if we're more efficiently breaking down carbon-based fuel, how does that actually reduce carbon emissions? I can understand that you use less fuel if, you're breaking it down. But anyway, maybe you could just clarify that for me.
Yeah, excellent question. Inside the cylinder of your cars, you have 20% more oxygen than you need. Are you aware of that? A combustion reaction needs to have X amount of oxygen for occur. It's an oxidation, right? You have a fuel, let's say this wood thing, I ignite it, which is my activation energy, and I need enough oxygen for this to burn, right? if there's no oxygen, there's no combustion, right? Okay. Inside the cylinder, you have 20% more oxygen than you need. That excess oxygen is what interacts with the carbon to produce CO2, with the nitrogen to produce oxides of nitrogen, with the sulfur to produce oxides of sulfur. If I use more of the oxygen to actually get the combustion process going, I have less oxygen left, right or not? You're trying to think about it.
No, I mean, I understand, yeah, I understand.
Think about it, okay. I have 20% when I start in an untreated fuel, and I end up with 10%, just to give you a thousand numbers. So I have 10% oxygen left, waiting to bond with the carbon and the sulfur and everybody else. If at the end of the combustion, I only have 7% oxygen, I have less oxygen to bond with the carbon, the nitrogen, and the sulfur, and that's how we lower the emissions.
I see, so you're actually lowering the, like, NO2 and SO2.
All of them.
But I mean, the CO2, that's what you need to, the bonds you need to break in order to get the energy. But yeah, I can see how you would definitely reduce the other, greenhouse.
On average, you will save 1 pound, which is 5%, 1 pound of CO2 for every gallon of fuel that you drink. Remember that, 1 pound per gallon. So you can turn your car into almost electric if you use this, almost.
I have a quick question, if you don't mind. The largest user of fuel in the United States is the U.S. military. And one of their biggest drive right now is to reduce their dependence on fossil fuels on everything that they do. Have you approached them? Are you in discussions with them? Have they done any testings?
We have approached them without success yet. But again, those are the kind of things that I'm trying to get from here. If you know someone, send them to the page. This is irrefutable science. So I won't let you down. I will not make you look bad. If they try it, they will implement it. But you will be surprised how hard it is to get to big corporations and get their attention. It is a challenge. Believe me, it is easier for me to go to a new country, and start selling to a country than to sell to a U.S. base. That's what it is.
One other quick clarification, it only works with regular gas, not
No,
diesel.
we work with natural gas, propane, heavy fuels, residuals, gasoline, diesel. As long as it's a hydrocarbon,
It works.
it works.
You have a question over there?
Good morning. My question is, how much of this has been independently verified by whether the National Science Foundation, or have there been any university studies other than what your company claims it does? How much of it has been independently verified to do what you say it does?
Well, if you ask my board, they're going to say just too much. Just because, as I said at the beginning, we have this big list of names. I'm going back to it. This is a partial list, but this is, listen to this, $30 million, I'm going to say it again, $30 million of testing. If you compound all of these studies into one, at least 5% reduction in fuel consumption, and at least 1 pound of CO2 per treated gallon. If you were to squeeze them, if you read that this is more than 1,000 pages of very boring scientific reports, so the problem, not the problem, the situation is not lack of evidence. One of these companies right here, I'm not going to tell them who, told us that they will save $360,000 a year by using this. Did they bought it? No. Why? Maybe because they're stupid. They said, we don't have a budget for it. And I said, listen guys, wait a second. You're going to save $360, you pay for the product, and you keep $280,000. Yeah, but we don't have a budget. So decision making is not about logic. And let me tell you something else. I can give you, if you're a fleet manager, I can give you the 1,000 pages, you can read them, verify that it's true, and then you're going to do what? You're going to place an order? No. You're going to say, I want to try it. Free. So we got rid of all that lousy presentation and say, here, this is a gift, use it. If you want more, give me more. That's the only way that we found effective effective way of getting sales.
Jason, go ahead.
I think think somebody else.
No, you're good, you're good.
Okay. I'm familiar with corporate BS and breaking through the head.
I'm from Puerto Rico, what does BS mean?
But I kind of believe in corporate harassment to get to them. So, you have a lot of social media followers and a lot of people in this room. I wonder if a marketing effort and leveraging that to get people to say, to just harass them on social media, look, we want this at your location, we want this on your brand, and just like keep at it nonstop and try that for 6 months and see if you can get some penetration. Because with Maytag, they wouldn't fix our dryer, and I just harassed them on Twitter, they fixed it.
That's part of the strategy by coming to colleges and these initiatives. By strict definition, we're not a startup. We're making money already. But what I'm not happy because we're just doing such a small part of the market, and that's what we need to come here because it's your decision, right? Imagine, and this is a great audience, a great place. We just need to make it more often and to a bigger audience until someone says, you know what, I want that before anybody else is taking it. But it's true, that's, go for it. I will like you every time that you post something.
Have you thought about reaching out to public transportation or cab companies? Like Uber is now trying to take over the world. They're in a lot of major cities. I feel like they'd be interested in saving money.
Yes, I will say that locally everybody knows about it. Let me tell you something, because I know that when you are there, you got to be thinking, this guy is a very lousy sales guy. How come not everybody's using this? Let me tell you this. Do you know that a car can run in propane gas? Do you know that? You don't? Propane costs $2 a gallon, right? Why aren't taxis running on $2 a gallon? Why? Do you know why? If you don't, tell me, because I don't. So, we have an arm in the company that converts vehicles to running propane. And you will think that everybody is going to be making a line to use propane on their vehicle. We don't, because anything that changes our way of doing things scares us. At a very personal level, the fleet manager is saying, oh, what if it blows? What if it doesn't work? What if it ruins my engine? So that's why education is so important. That's why our message, if you see the graphics and so on, are soft, are kind of childish or maybe cartoonish, if you will. I'm trying to get one. It's because we're trying to make this as easy to swallow as possible. You need a Volkswagen, because it is bold. I mean, I just told you that we can literally stop global warming. You should be jumping on your feet, but reality is that nobody cares that much. So we need to go little by little, build our reputation of success, have people, smart people like you, talking about it until we run into the right person, the decision maker.
Okay. This may be of value to anybody in the room too that might not be going after government contracts. There's an organization called BAA. Jim Ward sits on top of it. He's the most highly decorated veteran from Vietnam. The interesting thing about this is if you're trying to get government contracts, it's the portal to get them but here's the condition. You have to have a member of your board who needs to be a veteran. So if you don't have one, find one and throw them on. That's all he needs to be, is on the board. So I'm just throwing that out there because that's two different ways. He will connect you to the military because he's famous, but he opens the door for all government contracts.
Good. Thank you for the advice. I will certainly make note of it. Appreciate it.
Any other questions?
Nobody wants to place any order?
Oh, there's a question right there.
I used to work for the research laboratory in White Sands, New Mexico, so I know how to command something and use that stuff. We can talk about it.
Connections being made at 1 million bucks. Wow. So, by the way, we don't have another presenter. There's been a family emergency, so that's why this went longer than traditionally, and this was great because everybody was very interested. So we have a question for you. So you've already had a few asks. What can we right now do for you? So there's some connections directly to to White Sands. There's some connections to some other things, but on a more local level, a couple suggestions on maybe some social media marketing push. Do you have cards? People can come in and get information from you. You brought 2 or 3 gallons of this so people can take it home now.
Yeah, I think again, it's super important that you get involved. I mean, it will benefit you. If you don't want to save a couple hundred a year, so you don't do nothing. But eventually it will benefit you. So be, selfish a little bit if you want, and spread the message. We have more followers than most of the oil companies, so that's a good thing, right? We have 7,000 followers of AstroTech or something like that, and Citgo, which has 40,000 employees, has 3. So we're moving along. This is easy to swallow, and it's a good thing for the community. Have you heard that respiratory illness is a chronic disease? Guess who's causing it? Yourself. It's your fault. So all that you can do to help a little bit, it is worth doing. And the statistics are very terrible. 26,000 people are going to die this year because of the emissions that we produce from our engines. And I think that one death is just too many. So I'm not going to get sentimental or too dramatic here, but it is our own fault. Each time that I turn on my engine, I'm part of the problem. So if I can do something to alleviate that at least a little bit, I'll do it. I'll do it any day. So thank you again, get involved. I really appreciate the questions, and please find me a buyer or customer. Thank you very much.
So you guys have squandered another beautiful morning with us. Thank you. We truly appreciate that. We've got a few asks for you. So before we go any further, if you haven't done so yet, please go on social media and thank Barney's Coffee. I'm about to put the slide back up. Social media for our coffee sponsor, and the more we say thank you, the more they give us, and this is going to grow and continue to grow along the way. So please go ahead and send them take a picture of your coffee cup, send them a tweet. In the back, hiding behind the camera, is Rudy with Joy Castro, and thanks to Rudy, we're live streaming this event, so a big round of applause. The hosts for these facilities are Rollins Entrepreneurial Center, and they, even though we've been bouncing around, which is great, gives us the ability to take and learn more about this beautiful campus. So without them, this would not happen. By the way, if you have not signed up to the email list, you will not know where we are next week. And same thing with Facebook. So follow us on Facebook, sign up for our weekly newsletter. It just goes out on Tuesday morning. It tells you who's presenting, where we're going to be, and the battery's dying. Nope, here we go. Can you hear? 1, 2. So just follow us on that. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, retweet, push the message, bring friends over. Hiding somewhere is Alex. Alex, where are you? There you go, Alex. Alex has been also invaluable, providing help, coming in and volunteering every morning. We're all volunteers, and Alex has stepped up and said, hey, can I help some more? And so thank you, Alex, for all you do. This is it. This is the end of the event. Again, we apologize typically we do have 2 presenters, but it happens. So hang out, drink some coffee, please. That makes it easier for us to move it around and bring it back. So the lighter it is, the better it is for us. Grab some stickers, grab some cards, and see you next week. Thank you.